Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast.
Today we're looking at NVTS Semiconductor.
As usual, before we start, subscribe, like, and comment to this video to support the show. And if there's a specific company you want us to look into, leave it in the comments below.
So let's get into the analysis.
Starting with the big picture here. Why is NVTS a name we keep hearing? It feels like they're fundamentally shifting what they do.
They absolutely are. And what's fascinating is their foundational technology. They are, category leaders in high-efficiency power semiconductors.
Okay, high-efficiency power semiconductors. That sounds complex.
Yeah.
What do these chips actually do?
They use gallium nitride or GaN and silicon carbide cycle.
Right.
Think of it this way. Regular silicon is like standard plumbing. It works, but it leaks energy as heat.
Okay, I'm with you.
GaN and SiC are like high-performance plumbing. They can handle way more power, they switch faster, and they waste far, far less energy.
So they run cooler and use less power. And that enables what exactly? Because they're moving away from their old business, right?
Sure. Exactly. That's the huge strategic pivot. They are actively getting rid of those low-margin mobile phone and consumer chargers.
Good riddance, probably.
And they are doubling down on two massive growth areas: AI data centers and electric vehicles.
Right, where power efficiency is everything.
It's absolutely critical.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me. I keep seeing mentions of 800-volt architectures. Why is that specific number so important?
That 800V number is, well, it's everything for them. It's crucial for these hyperscale GPU clusters and the next-gen EV platforms.
So break that down. Why 800 volts?
In the EV world, it just means ultra-fast charging, cutting charging times way down.
You okay?
But in AI, it's even more important. Generative AI models are incredibly power-hungry. And if you can't manage that power efficiently at high voltage, the heat becomes a massive problem. It limits how many GPUs you can actually pack into a server rack.
So NVTS chips, which are designed for this 800V environment, they let data centers cram more computing power into the same space.
Exactly. Superior thermal management that old-school silicon just can't match. They're basically selling the essential plumbing to the AI revolution.
So they're betting their entire future on the most power-intensive parts of the economy.
A very targeted bet. And it's backed by some key partnerships, including collaborations that are linked to the NVIDIA ecosystem.
That paints a really compelling picture. But if this tech is so good, why aren't the big players, the Intels of the world, just doing it themselves? What's the moat?
It really comes down to two things. First is their integrated design expertise. It's proprietary. They build the control circuits right alongside the power components.
Okay, so specialization.
Right. And second is strategic. They have a long-term deal with global foundries to ramp up U.S.-based GaN manufacturing.
Which is huge for supply chain security.
It's a huge deal. It addresses diversification and lets them scale in a way that's very hard for a competitor to just replicate overnight.
Okay, the technology story is strong. But a pivot like this has to cost a fortune. Let's talk about the financial reality.
It does, and the financials definitely show the pain of this transition.
How painful.
Revenue for fiscal year 2025, it dropped sharply to just under $50 million.
$50 million. What was the drop?
$49.63 million to be exact. That's a decline of over 40% year over year.
Wow. Okay, that is a steep decline. So that's purely from shedding those old low-margin businesses.
That's the core risk right there. They're running huge net losses. Their trailing 12-month net income is negative $125 million.
$125 million in the red.
Yeah, from high operating expenses, all the R&D for these new chips, and, restructuring costs. Short-term profit is, well, it's not even on the horizon.
So let's unpack that. If they're losing that much money, how are they funding this whole thing? Where's the cash coming from?
They've been very smart about it. They secured what they call a significant runway. Back in November 2025, they got $100 million through a private placement.
$100 million. And that was at, what, $6.75 a share?
That's right. It was a huge boost to their cash position, giving them the runway they need to scale up operations.
But raising capital like that isn't free, right?
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't that create a risk of dilution for the people already holding the stock?
It does. Dilution is a very real company-specific risk here, both from the placement and from stock-based compensation.
So it's a race against time then. They have the cash to fund the losses for a while.
But they have to hope that these big AI contracts start ramping up to justify it.
And what's the timeline on that? What are analysts expecting?
The optimism is all about the future. Projections show earnings really starting to accelerate from mid-2026.
Mid-2026, okay.
That's when those big contracts are expected to kick in.
Huh.
And they're forecasting positive free cash flow sometime in 2026 as well.
So the whole bet is on capturing that. What was it, a 23.9% compound annual growth rate?
Yeah, that's the projected sales COGR by 2028. It's a high-stakes gap they need to cross.
That risk profile explains the stock's volatility perfectly, which, I mean, despite the losses, the stock has shown just incredible momentum.
Incredible is the right word. A surge of 393.46% year over year. It doubled year to date.
What's driving that? It's purely the AI story.
It's institutional confidence in that AI pivot. The price action just staged this robust rebound.
So what do the technicals look like now? After a run like that, is it getting overheated?
The indicators are a little mixed right now, but still, generally constructive. The price is well above its 200-day simple moving average.
Which is around 570.
Right, around 570. So the long-term trend is still bullish, but it is trading below the 50-day SMA, which shows some short-term resistance.
Okay, so what are the key levels traders are watching?
Short-term support at $7 is absolutely crucial.
$7, got it.
If that holds, the outlook is fine. Resistance is building up around, say, 815 to 850.
If it breaks higher.
Clearing 950 would be a very strong bullish signal.
And we should mention the volatility. The beta is, what, 3.20? That's really high.
Oh, it's extremely high. It means the stock is super sensitive to news. Any catalyst, good or bad, is going to cause an outsized move.
So speaking of catalysts, what's on the horizon? What are people watching for in the next, say, 3 months?
The biggest one, without a doubt, is the Q4 and full year 2025 earnings report. That's probably January or February 2026.
And that's going to be the first real proof of concept for the pivot.
Exactly. It will be the first real evidence of how quietly this new high-power business is actually ramping up to offset the old declines.
And we also heard talk of new products, didn't we?
We did. New GAN and SUX preps designed for the AI data center market are set to roll out late in Q4.
Any other whispers?
Well, there's always speculative chatter, about a potential supply agreement with a huge cloud provider or an accelerated AI chip roadmap.
And even if it's just a rumor?
With a stock this volatile, even unconfirmed rumors can provide a lot of short-term upside.
So the short-term trading is all about these catalysts and waiting for validation from that earnings report.
That really sums it up. NVTS presents a classic high-risk, high-reward scenario. The long-term upside, driven by AI and electrification, it's immense. But it is entirely contingent on them executing this pivot successfully.
But the capital raise and the partnerships, they at least give them the foundation to do it.
They have the financial and operational foundation. Now it's all about execution.
So what does this all mean for you, the person listening? You're essentially investing in the future plumbing of the AI and EV revolutions.
Right. And this raises the most important question, I think. If NVTS's GAN chips are truly critical to powering the next generation of 800-volt AI clusters, how much of a premium will the market eventually place on a company that literally enables the core infrastructure of hyperscale computing? That's the calculation the market is making right now.
A powerful thought to consider as they move into 2026. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep following how this story evolves.
We'll see you next time on Investing Talk Podcast.